On a cold morning in 1943, a secret experiment conducted by the US Navy at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard not only pushed the boundaries of science, but also brought with it an unsolved mystery that continues to this day. Named the USS Eldridge, its mission was to evade enemy radars. The method was something straight out of a science fiction novel, invisibility. But was this just a story, or was it truly one of the greatest experiments in history? During the peak of World War II, the US Navy decided to test a radical technology aimed at making ships invisible to enemy radar. The experiment centered on a warship named USS Eldridge. The ship was attempted to be made invisible using high-frequency electromagnetic waves. The experiment began with the deployment of large electrical generators around the ship. These generators, inspired by the theories of Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein, were theoretically supposed to surround the ship with an electromagnetic field to render it invisible. On October 28, 1943, when the experiment commenced, the generators were powered up and the surrounding air began to electrify intensely. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a dense blue-green light enveloping the ship. Shortly after, this light transformed into a thick fog and the ship vanished from sight. According to some claims, the USS Eldridge teleported to Norfolk, Virginia within minutes and then returned to Philadelphia shortly afterward. Some eyewitnesses in Norfolk reported seeing the ship suddenly appear and then disappear again. Claims following the experiment include severe physical and mental harm to crew members, with some reportedly found embedded within the ship's metal structure. However, such reports do not appear in official records. Immediately following the experiment, a significant secrecy order was issued, and no official statement was made about the events. However, extensive rumors and theories emerged both inside and outside the Navy. Some theories suggest that during the experiment, the ship underwent not only spatial, but also temporal travel. According to these claims, the ship and its crew may have briefly traveled to the future or past. This is supported by reports of altered perceptions of time and space among some crew members after the experiment. There is also a theory that the high-frequency electromagnetic waves used during the experiment could have affected the human mind, creating optical illusions or hallucinations. This has been proposed as an explanation for some of the paranormal experiences reported by the crew. One of the biggest theories surrounding the Philadelphia experiment is that the US government conducted such secretive experiments to conceal advanced technology and keep such information from the public. This is used to explain why the experiment was kept so secretive. Scientists and technology experts debate whether the experiment was scientifically possible. Some argue that electromagnetic fields could theoretically have such an effect, while others claim it is entirely impossible. Scientific experiments and technological advancements are typically documented through official reports and laboratory results. However, the situation with the Philadelphia experiment is somewhat more complex. Today, much of what we know about this mysterious experiment comes from the testimonies of eyewitnesses and reports from the time. Following the Philadelphia experiment, the US Navy officially denied that any such event took place, yet some documents and leaked reports suggest that the event indeed occurred. However, the authenticity and source of these documents have consistently been subjects of debate. In particular, a naval report written a few days after the alleged date of the experiment, detailing abnormal conditions aboard the ship, surfaced years later. This report provides detailed information about the physical anomalies encountered by the ship and its crew. How do scientists evaluate these claims? What do experts think? The use of electromagnetic fields can theoretically open the door to certain stealth techniques. However, making an object completely invisible is still not possible with today's scientific understanding. The concept of invisibility requires manipulation of how light interacts with objects, which is an extremely complex engineering and physics problem. Experts note that the reported events of the Philadelphia experiment do not fully comply with the known laws of physics. If such an experiment was indeed conducted, it likely focused not on invisibility or teleportation as described, but rather on technologies that could complicate radar detection. Some scientists argue that the story of the Philadelphia experiment is based on misunderstandings and exaggerated narratives. In particular, some events reported as effects of the experiment are scientifically implausible. For instance, the physical merging of people with metal surfaces is contrary to physical laws, and such claims have not been scientifically proven. Some theoretical physicists suggest that the experiment might have been a test of advanced radar jamming or electronic warfare technology. Such technology could mislead enemy radars, but it would not physically render a ship invisible. Following the Philadelphia experiment, another mysterious project alleged to be its continuation emerged, the Montauk project. Conducted in the 1980s in Long Island, New York, this project reportedly focused on mind control, time travel, and psychological warfare techniques. The most notable aspect of the Montauk project was its extensive mind control experiments. The technologies said to be used in the project include devices capable of influencing human thoughts from a distance and technologies with the potential to manipulate time. Additionally, it is claimed that tests were conducted on psychotronic weapons and other devices that could influence behavior. Among the claims associated with the Montauk project are various paranormal events that allegedly occurred during the project. These include sightings of strange creatures known as the Montauk Monster, experiences of time travel, and transitions into alternative dimensions. According to some theories, the Montauk project was designed to develop the technologies used in the Philadelphia experiment and to conduct more advanced experiments with them. Both projects pushed the ethical boundaries of science and technology, leading to numerous conspiracy theories and speculations. Whether the Philadelphia experiment was a real event or purely fictional, it has triggered debates and speculation in the world of science and technology. The narratives of the Philadelphia experiment have encouraged scientists and engineers to dream about materials gaining properties like invisibility. For example, studies on metamaterials that can bend light to hide objects may be inspired by such old tales. One prominent aspect of the experiment is the ethical dimensions of the projects that scientists work on. Controversial experiments like the Philadelphia experiment remind researchers to be mindful of the potentially harmful effects of their experiments. In conclusion, whether the Philadelphia experiment was real or not remains uncertain, but the deep impact of such stories on science and society is clear. For scientists, these stories can serve as both a warning and a source of inspiration. Regardless of its reality, this story highlights the potential to push the boundaries of science and the complex relationship between science and ethics. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to share your thoughts about the Philadelphia experiment in the comments section. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. See you in the next video.